Okay, so I had someone upstairs is hacking into my computer and they blocked out the other video. And I was talking for like 45 minutes thinking that the video was going on, but apparently it only recorded for 2 minutes. So don't remember everything I was saying verbatim, but I'm going to try. So this is for the people that are being gang stalked, going through some of the things or similar things that I'm going through, and also for the people that are standing in the background that are giving advice as if it's not real. Um, Gang stalking is very much real. I've been going through it for a while and some years, and this is not a cry for help or ask for help because I'm not no longer doing that for the simple fact that when I do that, um, they people that God sent or divine intervention end up getting paid off or selling out and selling out. And God always don't. I mean, He put people in people's lives for reasons, and even people in power. He put them there for a purpose. Choose them for a purpose, and it's up to them to fulfill that purpose. But because mankind is so corrupt that a lot of people are easily influenced by the devil, for monetary value gain, for power, for, whatever it is that they have to sell somebody out for the enemy, instead of doing what God wants them to do. God put you in a position to do your job, but you stray and you want to do what you want to do. So, but I'm not a judge. So, um, but at the same time, um, yeah, so I've been going through the gang stalking. They've been blocking me from trying to get a job, blocking me from relationships, um, even having friendships, stealing things. My phone actually now they erase. Like I heard the guy upstairs talking about my banking information to someone on the phone, talking about stealing my accounts, in which I woke up and my all my accounts was erased from my phone. So um, it's gang stalking is real. And another thing, like all my ideas, my goals, my everything, and I don't compare myself to nobody because I don't know anybody that's been through this. But things that I've written down, ideas, goals, things that I was pursuing, writings, drawings, all that stuff that's stolen and it keeps getting stolen. So therefore, it's not that I'm quitting, but I know when I'm in a right position to be doing things where when nobody will be stealing my things, then I can do it. Because I can do anything. But because I've seen people use my ideas, and now these are unique ideas that I haven't seen anybody else do talk about or anything like that, and I know that they've stolen it for the simple fact that they're doing everything verbatim exactly the way that I said within details and everything because I'm a very detailed person. um and things I do, like some things it takes me like seconds to come up with, some things days, months, years, but and just add on to it. But when these greedy people and um want to keep people away from me. So it's not just to keep me down. If they keep me down and keep people away from me, then they feel like I won't have any help to meet my potential because everybody needs help to get to where they're at. Nobody gets there just completely alone. That's why God sends people to help you. So they're trying to keep people from helping me and keeping me alone so that way they can keep stealing my ideas and keep making money off of it. And then trying to trick me on social media. Oh, well, why don't you put your stuff out or try to do a guilt trip or reverse psychology? That stuff is not going to work because too much has been taken. So therefore, I don't care what people think. If they think I'm lazy or I'm not doing nothing or I'm not motivated or whatever, all because you're watching me because there's cameras in here. If there wasn't cameras in here, how would you not know that I'm not doing anything? Point blank, period. Okay, so you gave yourself away. Second of all, I'm giving you what you want is not what you thought that you know what I'm saying? I'm giving you what I want you to have, which is nothing. You're going to watch me do nothing because you're not getting nothing. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, um, that's just the way it is until I'm in a position to do what I want or need to, then or somebody help me, then that's when I will do it. But other than that, I'm keeping everything to myself. That stuff is building up. It's not going nowhere. It's not like I'm not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to do it when I can do it. And I'm going to do it the way I'm going to do it. You know what I'm saying? So not when man tells me to do it or not when somebody put me in a position where they can just steal my ideas. And that's not going to happen again. So point blank, period. And then two, as far as dating stuff, I'm not on the app dating apps anymore. I erased all that stuff off my thing. I'm not a person to put all my business out on social media or anywhere. Other people do that. I'm not that type to do that. So I do not want to meet anybody through a social media app or through a dating app. I'd rather just meet somebody in person, old school, the same way. Um, Another thing is I'm not looking for signs and wonders on social media. I already prayed to God and asked him not to do that. But he knows I do not like social media. I hate social media. I'm not on social media every day. I prefer to watch movies versus social media for the simple fact that there's less liars, imposters, scammers. I don't have to worry about none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I get my gems. I learn some stuff, get entertained, all that. You know what I'm saying? It's better than social media for me at this point. You know, too many fake people, too many people giving unsolicited information, which is sometimes is good, but it's not good for me because you don't even know me. So how can you help me if you don't know? How can you help me if you don't even believe what I'm saying? You can't. So the stuff that you start saying, okay, it sounds good at first minute, 2, 3 minutes, but after that, no, none of that applies to me. So I stopped watching you. And then I had to block you because at that point you're assuming stuff, and I don't like people who assume anything. That's not good to do that because it can lead you down the wrong path, which it does in my case. I'm a real person who value genuine and authenticity, and I respect that. Anything less than that I have no respect for, so therefore I don't want anything to do with it, and or you that's putting it out there, or have no interest. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care what you have to offer. It doesn't matter because that's not the type of life that I want to live. That's not the type of people I choose to be around or to associate with. So I'd rather flow by myself if I have to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather go without if I have to deal with that. I'm not selling my integrity for nothing in this world. Um, and that's my character. Like it, don't like it, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to. I don't care if you do or don't. I'm not trying to score points or be. I don't need nobody's validations. I already has God's. You know what I'm saying? And the only thing that matters is what he thinks and how he feels and how he cares. When people trying to tell me, oh well, you're not doing this enough, you're not doing that enough, you don't even know me. You don't know what I'm doing. All you see is what you're seeing from the camera and what the enemy's trying to put in your ear, and then you're just running with it to believe it. I don't care about how you feel or what you think or anything, and I never will, for this little fact that your first impression was the wrong impression. That goes a long way for me. I don't like people that listens to what other people say or follow the leader or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? I can't respect that for the simple fact that you're not genuine. Your thoughts is someone else's thoughts. You're going by how someone else thinks or feels, not by your own thoughts or feelings. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I can't trust, I don't trust anybody that puts somebody, a man, another person, emotions, feelings, and stuff like that. Like somebody is thinking for you, like you're a zombie or a puppet or something like that. I don't do that myself. So therefore, I don't accept that from anybody else. Um, to each his own, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying anything negative or bad about anybody. Different stuff for different folks. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. I do me the way I do me, and nothing and nobody's going to change that. Okay. Um, I don't compare, don't compete, don't none of that. If you have to do that with somebody, I just feel like then you're not grounded within yourself and with God and centered, aligned with God enough to know that you don't have to do that. No one never has to do that. I've never done that before, never will do that before, and don't really understand why people do that. But I just know you don't have to do that. Um, and as far as me going through the things that I go through, it's not nothing that I've done wrong. These are things because the closer you are to God, when you're living that life, when you're not living a sinful life, when you're not um, living worldly, and doing worldly things, or your desires is not of this world. You're different. Your life is different. The way you see things and endure things, perceive things is different. You know what I'm saying? You'll find a certain peace that is not unlike any other. And you would also find that you have more peace by yourself. You don't have to be by yourself, but you find more peace by yourself. And you're not really by yourself. You know what I'm saying? You have God. You have your holy family. You have your angels with you and everything. So you're not really by yourself. And all this outside stuff, like, okay, it's good to read the Bible, it's good to praise, worship, and it's good to do all of that. But at the same time, if you didn't have a song, you never heard songs, if you can't see to read, or you can't um um you can't talk or nothing like that, what do you think people do? They have their own personal relationship with God. Okay. So no one can see that. Sometimes you can see it outwardly, but you don't have to, that's something you don't have to share with everybody. It's your personal relationship with God. Some people's relationship is stronger than others. And if you don't have a relationship with God, and some people might not understand that, you know what I'm saying? And um it's like God tattooed stuff on your heart so you can remember things, and things and the things you don't know, He'll put in you. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not saying don't read the Bible, don't praise and worship and all that stuff, don't gather and um, congregate and all that stuff. I'm not saying that. I'm saying make sure you have a personal relationship with God. If you don't do anything else, make sure you have that, you know, with your Creator, with your higher source, not your higher self, your higher source, uh, and two, like, if you don't know somebody, or you can't, like, if you're not taking the time to get to know somebody, but you could take the time to talk about somebody, or take the time to try to give somebody advice, but don't really know what they're going through, or don't really know them, then are you really giving them advice, or are you really just putting words, sending words just out there in the air because you feel like doing it? You know what I'm saying? Because everything, if you don't really know what a person's going through, if you're just listening to a person and you're just hearing the basics, you know what I'm saying? But you're not even knowing all the underlining things, the things that they're not saying, because I just say basic stuff. I don't give a lot of details with a lot of stuff that's going on because it's too much for other people to handle. And even the basic stuff, a lot of people don't even believe because they never experienced it, because some people never will experience it. Like I said, the closer you are to God, and the more aligned you are with Him, and you're standing in His will, and you're not like, I'm not easily influenced or corruptible, and I'm not I have no desires of the world. You know what I'm saying? No worldly desires. So that's just out. Um, the devil will come at you. He will keep coming at you for the simple fact that he's trying to get to you and break you. He wants you more than he wants anybody else. For the simple fact that you're standing strong and firm in God. And the closest and the stronger you are in your faith in God, you know what I'm saying? And the devil is going to attack you. And especially in these last days, he wants you bad. You know what I'm saying? And if he's not bothering you, it's because you're already doing what he wants you to do. The only ones he don't bother is the ones that's already doing his job that he wants them to do. He already got you in his pocket. You know what I'm saying? It's those that he don't have in his pocket is the ones that he attacks. And a lot of people who say that they're close to God and, religious or whatever, you know what I'm saying, make up excuses. Well, Maybe this person isn't doing this. Stop making excuses why you don't want to do your part. You know what I'm saying? If God puts you in somebody's life to do something and you don't do it and all you do is talk about them, I don't judge, but I'm just saying, look at yourself. Who are you really serving? You know what I'm saying? And are you really being obedient? Because words only get you so far. And then are those words are excuses? Where are they coming from? You know what I'm saying? Because if God gave you an order, when all you can do is talk about it or make excuses, then are you being obedient? But anyways, I'm hoping that this can help some people and help people who's not going through it understand that sometimes words just aren't enough. You know what I'm saying? And also to tell people that stop being so freaking lazy that all you feel like is talking is just enough for people. You know what I'm saying? And you're talking and you're not even getting to know the person. So how can you even help them? You're helping yourself. You're helping yourself be seen. You're helping yourself monetize. You're trying to tell people, oh, well, you need to do this and you need to do that. How do you even know what the person is doing behind closed doors? You know what I'm saying? Besides what they're telling other people are telling you. I mean, really, how do you know what's going on in that person's mind and their heart and they spirit? Because they're not telling you everything. Nobody has enough time on here to tell you every single thing in detail, and nobody's going to put all their information out on social media completely in detail. Even the one that talks the most, the best gossiper isn't going to do that, especially about themselves. Gossipers talk about other people. And then people need to make sure to watch, because sometimes you're helping people, but then you become a gossiper. Especially people like in preachers, like that's another thing. I don't like listening to nobody that's trying to preach or teach anything to somebody else that's talking about someone else. You know what I'm saying? Because that's gossiping. You're talking about someone else's story. That's still gossiping. Did you get permission to talk about their story? Or did you just take it upon yourself to do that? Why don't you talk about yourself? You know what I'm saying? And it's good. I do know, like in the Bible, it tells stories about people telling stories about other people and stuff like that. But these people, they're in the Bible, so they took it to God. Okay. Some people just talk because they want to talk or be heard or be seen. You know what I'm saying? Some people like, oh, well, you just need to pray more and you need to do this. I'm not trying to be entertain nobody praying. Everybody don't have to see me pray. Everybody don't have to know what I'm praying about. I got cameras and microphones and stuff watching me. Why do I have to let everybody know what I'm doing and what I'm praying? Why is it important to you for you to know what I'm doing and what I'm praying? What I'm saying and what I'm doing? You're not helping me. What do you benefit from it? Why is that more important than you helping me? So I'm a question person. I ask a lot of questions. I talk to God a lot. I spend a lot of time with God. You know what I'm saying? And I spent a lot of time with a lot of older elders. And I don't care whether they was occultists, they was, um, high status, high society people. Let's just put it like that. And even people that's been a part of covens and stuff like that. And it's not who you meet, and it's not so much what you learn, but it's what you do with it. You know what I'm saying? You can either teach you how to be or how to not to be, you know? Um, and it's up to you what you do with what you learn. You know what I'm saying? Because it can either help you or it can destroy you. It depends on how you use it and what you use it for. Oh, I'm having an allergic reaction. My face is swollen up. But it's either, or it's allergies actually, because my eye is closing up too. But it's how and what you do with the information that you have. Now, me, I don't believe in competing, comparing, none of that stuff. Jealousy, envy, never felt it, never will. I don't care that much too, because people's lives is their life. I don't want to be like anybody else. I want to be myself, you know. And if I'm like somebody else, then that wasn't intentional, because I don't have any idols. I don't want to, you know, um people are people to me. They've always been. So, I mean, I'm not just excited about meeting this person or meeting that person, or nothing like that. I get excited for God, straight up. Makes me happy, excites me, and everything. So I can do that all by myself, or I could do that with other people. But that's just me. Everybody's to each his own. Everybody's different. Um, and two, so a lot of people can ignore the fact of things that's going on, just like hunger, famine, uh, drought, global warming, just anything. You know what I'm saying? Suffering of people, war, anything. You overlook anything, or you bypass it, or gaslight it, or talk about stuff, but you're not really doing anything. What type of person does that make you? You know what I'm saying? I'm not judging anybody, but I'm just asking people to look in the mirror before they speak out about someone else, about anything negative. Because if you talk about something or somebody, what are you actually doing besides just talking? How does that make you much better than the next person that you're talking about? You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, I don't compare myself, but I'm saying for those who gossip and talk about the next person, or tell you that, oh, well, don't be around that person, or whatnot, what makes you better than that person? Because you're doing the same thing that person is doing. I don't see you doing nothing but talking, just like that person. So, to me, I should speak louder than words. People talk crap at, all day long till they're blue in the face. At the end of the day, action's still going to speak louder than words when it comes to humans. Humans are too corruptible. And temptation, too tempted. That's another thing. I don't have a problem with temptation or being tempted or anything, because I don't have to. I mean, it's just like you get to a point where, it's not like, I don't have like a need to be around a lot of people or a group of people. And, I stopped having the need to feel like I needed to be loved when I was a child, because like my grandma said, get over it. You know what I'm saying? And I got over it, because you learn that just because somebody's blood does not make you have to make you family. And just because your blood doesn't mean that they have to love you. You know what I'm saying? The world does not have to love you. Make sure you want God to love you. He loves you anyway. You know what I'm saying? But once you know that you have that love, that agape love, that love that is never going to die, that's never going away. You know what I'm saying? You'll look and see the whole world a whole lot different. You know what I'm saying? And you stop taking things and people for granted too. Not saying that I have, because I don't do that. I never have. But you will see the world a lot different. And then you won't take anything for granted. And you won't seek validation, because you know you've already been validated. You won't seek approval from mankind, because you know that God's already approved you. Um, you won't feel like you have to be chosen by people, because God already chosen you. You know, you don't look for a purpose from a person, because God's given you purpose. I mean, it's, oh, and then the temptation. I mean, like, I don't have temptation for lust. I don't lust. Matter of fact, I'm to the point where I try to make sure that no one lusts after me. You know what I'm saying? That's how hard it is. Um, or that's how hard it goes. You know what I'm saying? Um, what else? Temptation. I can't think of anything. Oh, no, like drugs, alcohol, no party. None of. I'm not tempted to do any of those things. And the closer you get, the more humble you are, and steadfast and aligned with God, with His Word, with His Holy Spirit. I'm just saying, everything changes, completely changes. You know, you see things different, everything smells different, you look at things different, you have clarity, you have peace. Even in the chaos, midst of chaos, you stay calm and collect. And everybody's running around with their head like a chicken with their head cut off, and you're still calm and collect. Not saying that everything's going to be perfect, but the way that you handle and deal with things and people is just completely different. And like, a lot of people think that I'm sad all the time, or lonely, or mad, or bitter, or none of that. That's the complete opposite. Because if I was, then I wouldn't have peace. Now, will I? I would be crying. And another thing is, I rarely cry. And then when I do feel like I need to cry, I don't cry, for the simple fact that my emotions don't feel that need, like I really need to cry, like it's worth crying over. You know what I'm saying? You'll find out that things are not worth crying over as much. It's not, it's like you get emotionally detached from the world and worldly things, to the so much where you're not focused so much on your emotions. You're focused on things that are more important. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that your emotions aren't important, but on things that causes you to be emotional about certain things. So you're focusing more on the positive things, and you have a positive spin on things, so that way you're not so emotionally in a emotion in a negative way, because there's so much negative in the world that you don't have to be. Like, we're in the world, but we're not of the world, so we don't have to be, our emotions don't have to be so in the world. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to explain, but it's a peaceful existence. And what else did I talk about? I guess another thing is, like, I haven't given up. I won't give up on anything. God did not create me like that. He didn't create any of us like that, to give in to evil and wickedness. And I mean, we have choices, you know what I'm saying? And I know God does everything for a reason. There's evil, there's wickedness on the earth. That's without saying, you know what I'm saying? God has a reason for everything. We have free will at the end of the day. We have choices to make at the end of the day. And I try to make good choices and better choices than I made before. Like, I don't compare myself to anybody. I compare myself to myself, for the simple fact the only thing I'm competing with is my old me and my new me. You get it? So everybody else is out of that equation. They don't even equate, because they're not me. So nothing anybody says or does not equate in that, because it's not me, and they didn't create me. God created me. You know what I'm saying? So it's, at the end of the day, it's me that I have to deal with, live with, die with. And everything else is up to God. You know what I'm saying? Because He created me. So I want to be the best me that I can be, for me, because of God. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. That's just point blank, period. And I don't have, my lips are dry. Didn't notice that. Okay. So I don't have idols. I don't believe in idolatry. I believe people are people, regardless their status. Doesn't matter how much money they have, what job they have. They're still people at the end of the day. I don't judge people. I just know the type of people I choose to be around, who I choose to learn from, who I don't want to be like, um, who I don't want to, when I say don't want to be like there's nobody I want to be like, but there's people that I definitely do not ever want to be like. Like there's certain things, qualities in people that a lot of people can have that I don't want to never want to be like. You know what I'm saying? That teaches you how what your character of how you want to be and how you don't want to be, because I never knew about jealousy and envy until someone told me that the other people was feeling this way towards me, even since I was a child, and I never understood it because it never set with me. But as people was teaching me, that's something I never wanted to be like. You know what I'm saying? But some things are not a part of people's character, and God created everybody with similar traits and some different and some without certain things and some with certain things. And I was just created, and that's me. Um, so some of things that I don't have in me are replaced with other things that I need in me for me to be able to live my life here on earth. So if you can understand that. Everybody doesn't understand everything the way you can put things down, but some people do understand things, and everything's not meant for everybody to understand. Just like this message isn't for, it's for, some of it is for everybody, and some of it is for certain particular people, groups of people that make excuses for why they don't do and why they say the things that they say to people instead of actually doing. And then for the people that who need people to do, so that way they can continue to do. And anybody can reach out. Like people knows my information, knows my address, knows my phone number. People can reach out to me for help. If I can help or send you in the right direction, I'll do that. I have no problem with that. um I've never been one to sit back and watch people suffer or make excuses for, you know and give them, like, think that I know what they're going through, pretending like I know what they're going through, and give them advice based off of that, assuming, you know what I'm saying? I never do that because sometimes that can make the situations worse for people or make them feel worse because you really don't know the help that they need because you assume you do. You know what I'm saying? That's, you're going off of you, but you're not in their mind, in their emotions, in their heart. You're not in their space. You're not experiencing what they've experienced. You know what I'm saying? And just because two people can have the same experience don't necessarily mean that they're going to have the same emotions or outcome or influence from that experience that the next person does. You know what I'm saying? So it's to each his own. You really got to sit and talk to people and ask them questions to know how to help them. And I think that's why growing up, a lot of people couldn't help me because they didn't want to take the time. And I know over time, as time goes on, I don't blame them people because they're not the only ones in this world. And I see even to this day, the older that I get, which I'm almost 50, but the older I get, I see that there's a lot more people that are doing the same thing because it's easy. It's an easy out. That you just can make an excuse and you don't have to help somebody, or you don't have to be there for anybody, or don't have to listen to what they say. And it's easy to call somebody crazy as an excuse too, or as an excuse to cover up what you've done. So if somebody calls somebody out for what they've done to somebody, then of course the person is going to turn on them to make an excuse or make them look crazy, or um, try to fabricate something on someone just so that way they could cover their butt and take the attention off of them, or even get a group of people to do it with them so that way that person looks like they're lying or doesn't look credible, or it look insignificant, or you know what I'm saying, anything to do to cover their butts. And the more money you have, the easier it is for somebody to do that because you can pay people off. And especially people that are on drugs, alcohol, or low income or needy, you know what I'm saying? Or just easily influenced, you know? It doesn't matter. Somebody evil or wicked. It's easy to find people like that. Because these days, it's easier for people to do bad than good because evil and wicked is trending. But biblically, Revelations, that's what's going to happen. So it's easy for people to fall into that category and into that boat because people are following other people, you know. And I'm on the outside looking in, so I can see it and I like it on the outside for the simple fact that I'd rather not be in that category, you know, of people. Um, I like to think that for me personally, that I'm a better person for that, for the simple fact that I would feel less than a person if I was in that category. Me personally, not talking about nobody, but that's the reason why I'm not in that jumping in that category because I feel like I'm less than myself. I don't want to be anything less than what God created me to be. I don't want to be anything that the devil wants me to be is going to be less than I feel that I can be, because God created me in his own image. No, I'm not perfect. God made me imperfectly perfect. But I've come to experience and see life. And I know that I'm not, I'm in this world, but I'm not of this world. So therefore, I don't have to act worldly. I don't have to be that worldly person. You know what I'm saying? I have a choice. I can be different and I can be better. And that's what I choose to do. Even if that means I have less than, so what? I have more of God and less of the world. I'm okay with that. Straight up, all day, every day. I'm okay with that. Doesn't mean that I'm not living life and, you know, I just don't have to be what everybody wants me to be. I can be who I want to be, and I am who I want to be. I am going to be who I want to be. And nobody can take God from me. You know what I'm saying? Because God is not of this world, because nobody can take God from me. He created this world, but he's not of this world. So, and I'm happy with that, you know. But I hope this gives strength and some uh, positivity to some people who needed to hear this. I pray that you stand strong. Don't give up. Um, don't follow the crowd. Be genuine. Be authentic. Be unique. Don't listen to what everybody say or tell you to be or how to be. You know, because that's conditioning. They're conditioned, so they're conditioning you, and so on. And it's like a poo poo show, doo doo show, whatever you want to call it. Be the best you that God created you to be, you know, and just be aligned with Him. It's just like that saying, you can do bad all by yourself, you know, you don't need any help. And at the end of the day, it's you and God, you know what I'm saying? And you have to live with that. So, um, but that was the stream. I'm glad that the enemy did not interrupt the stream. I'm glad that God allowed the stream to go through and that I had common sense to, if it did stop this time, to stop talking and restart the stream over. So that's a learning thing. That was a learning experience for me, but I learned. Um, I hope everybody have a blessed day and talk about what you know, not what you think. Stop making assumptions about people and start finding out the truth. And stop um, reading between lines, because sometimes when you try to read between lines, you're putting what you think is between there and you're not seeing the real pictures. So There's always more underneath what people say than what you think. So it's always good to ask questions, especially before you speak. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you guys till next time. Oh, I'm not wearing makeup because I'm fasting for makeup right now. So, but have a blessed day.